Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Wednesday, December 4th, 2024. Let's take a look at the charts. I like to start with the big picture, the long term first, and just show you, these are levels that we're not near presently. But if we were to test it over the next month or two, can contain quarterly activity. And so, in other words, rallies into the upper 160s to mid 170s should be considered sell opportunities, regardless of whether you're long, exiting a long position, or anticipating playing the short side. That's a valid zone. And inversely, the downside of buying the market through the first quarter comes into play in the 120s, 120.08 to 123.43. Now, these levels are a little different on the daily charts, and we do fine-tune this on the daily charts, as you're well aware. As we're looking at this chart, just want to mention that if we close Friday below 137.15, that does underscore the likelihood for 120.08 to 123.43 within 2 to 3 to 5 weeks. We already are still anticipating that anyway, and I'm going to jump to the midterm now, the 2 to 3 week outlook, and show you that, the market did set off a sell signal about a week ago when it closed below the 140.96 channel bottom. That keeps the 119.73 to 122.13 region in reach. Over the next, it could be 2 to 3 weeks, could be 3 to 5 weeks. It's still intact, that sell signal, despite the fact that we're pushing back into the low 140s and testing that area. And once again, if we fall away and by Friday close below 137.15, if you're short now, sigh of relief. If you're not short, antsy to go short based on that sell signal, then closing Friday below 137.15 is your next indicator for likely bearish continuation into the lower 120s within about 3 to 5 weeks. That 119.73 to 122.13 region, able to contain selling through the first quarter, as I mentioned earlier. Now, working our way, let's see here. I'm actually going to jump to, when we're talking about the 2 to 3 week outlook, I don't want to confuse this. Let's get to the 3 to 5 day and the near term today, 3 to 5 days out. And I can go to really this chart here, same chart, but we're adding downside levels. There's not a lot to hang your hat on. You've got, yesterday's low is 137.95. That is a bit of a downward pivot point, but, also you've got the low of the high of 137.15. So, and we don't even show this really so much on the intraday charts, these short-term levels. You can see I've got 136.05, 135.34. It really is 132.11. I don't expect to see that today. We would need a real spike in volatility, something bearish surprisingly happening. 132.11, though, if tested, can contain intraday, possibly daily selling pressures. In terms of the 3 to 5 day outlook, holding below 140.96, believe it or not, still maintains a 129.13, a 3 to 5 day target. And if we can close today below 137.15, that would also be below yesterday's low. I do see that as a good high for the week scenario. 132.11, then likely by Friday's close, 129.13 within another 3 to 5 days, so forth and so on. At 129.13, that is a 3/8 downside Fibonacci from that August low against the more recent November high. It can contain daily selling pressures. We could even get a nice 3 to 5 day bounce off of 129.13. So 3 to 5 day swing traders, if you're still short, holding out for 129.13, solid zone to not only cover a short position, but even reverse and go long, possibly back into the low 140s. Closing below 129.13, we're just another 3 to 5 days from reaching our 3 to 5 week objective in the 119.73 to 122.13 region, where all shorts can be covered for all intents and purposes, and long entry made on all time frames. 3 to 5 days, 3 to 5 weeks, and several months out as we can round up here well into maybe through the first quarter activity. Upside, let's cover that. If we happen to push, well, let's just go with the settlement above 140.96, rejects that classic sell signal that occurred a week ago, and that in itself indicates 148.88 within 3 to 5 days. On the way up, if we happen to push, especially if we open today above 140.96, 144.96, 144.83 in reach today. That is a 5/8 Fibonacci over the last couple of weeks extremes. That would probably be it for the day. But once again, if we close today above 140.96, not only anticipating 148.88 within about 3 to 5 days, but that upper 160s to mid 170s up here on the chart, I think you can imagine the possibility of 3 to 5 weeks could also spill well into January. I will say closing above 140.96, the bull regains control of the midterm dynamic, and I would then expect within a matter of, possibly 3 to 5 weeks, but by the end of January anyway, this previously shown 169.23 to 174.34 area converges in late December to a single point, able to contain buying on a quarterly basis. Yes, on a quarterly basis. We can fall away from this 1-year channel top at 174.34 for several months to follow. I'm going to finish with a little bit of triple Q analysis, Nasdaq 100 analysis. This is the Nasdaq 100 ETF. We are at a significant resistance level in the Nasdaq 100 and triple Q. And of course, NVIDIA is part of that index, a substantial part of that index. And so I will say, as far as NVIDIA is concerned, if we close today in the triple Q above 518.17, no surprise then that we'd probably also close in NVIDIA above 140.96, which rejects that 3 to 5 week sell signal and puts the bull back in control of the market as we move through the rest of the year. With respect to the triple Q, closing above 518.17, that also coincides with a 5-year channel top that we tested in July, fell away from, and have been testing now for the last month and have not fallen away from significantly. And if we close above 518.17, likely the beginning of a very long-term buy signal for the Nasdaq 100 that should play out through all of 25. Now, in the triple Q analysis, the daily triple Q, we do provide this day by day by day religiously, like we do the NVIDIA report, and you can see it for free at wickedstocks.com. We show this chart, also our upper price points over the next 1 to 2 weeks, over the next 1 to 2 months, and over the next 1 to 2 years. And you can see all that, those levels changing a little bit every day, especially the 1 to 2 week target. And you'll be apprised of that for the next 5 trading days in a row for free by taking advantage of our 5-day free trial. You'll also be apprised of this formation as we move through the rest of the week. What is the buy signal? This level is rising every day, as you can see, so it changes. I'm going to leave it at that. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. Take advantage of their 5-day free trial and our daily triple Q and SPY analysis. And I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with Thursday's NVIDIA report, and you have a fabulous evening.